himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Newhoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot have fun. Yeah, and it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is enjoying himself watching. And Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
Haven't got it!
He's on the outside line, though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now, though, for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still slot chopper. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's gonna do it! Big Barry!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Racers Elite Mixed Series here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's going to be a fantastic night of racing on a Saturday night here in the South at Charlotte Motor Speedway. My name is Jake Reeves. Got Dean Biggles also up here with me doing all the camera looks that you're going to see, all the crazy graphics, and also doing a little bit of commentating tonight as well. And Dean, I mean, these guys right here, these are the same guys that put on a hellacious race at Talladega last week in the Gen 4 cars. Some of these names that you will be able to remember from last week, as I mentioned, like Corey Crowell, Kinsley Smith, Andrew Tift, all these guys that went down to the wire. And don't forget that number 9 of John Schulenbacher. He is also in the field, won the race last week, so do not count him out as we're getting ready to rock and roll. And they're going to be in the Craftsman trucks here tonight in the fixed series or fixed setup with the trucks. And Dean, you know, I mean, these guys just now starting to wrap up qualifying. What can we expect here? Because, you know, Charlotte, it's got a lot of history to this track. It's, you know, it's hosted the Coca-Cola 600. It's even hosted the Roval, the road course right here, smack dab in the middle of it. But this is the heart of NASCAR right here in Charlotte. I mean, just your thoughts right here on Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Well, that's actually interesting. You throw that one to me, Jacob. Welcome everybody at the moment. That's Sarah Smile out there giving a smile to everybody. Corey Corwell is going, let's go. Good question. I mean, coming from Talladega, of course, which we dragged you in, didn't we? Very last week, very last minute there. We said, okay, anybody knows Talladega, it's going to be you, Jacob. And then, of course, going to another classic circuit. I've been here a few times, my friend, for broadcasting aspect, of course, in Charlotte, but I've never actually ever sat into the audience in the grandstand there of this classic track. So perhaps you may be asking the wrong person about all that sort of stuff. You may be asking those at least 14 or so drivers we're going to have on the grid there. But yeah, this is why I love to have you here, my friend Jacob. Jacob, of course, in the casting booth again for the second time. Now, I'm going to rely, obviously, on the chat there for you all, there you go, to try to give me some information about that, because I'm an Aussie, mate. We don't really have many oval tracks down there in Australia. But you have them all here in the United States of America. In the second round here of the Racers Elite Mixed Series, they did switch the track around. Was going to be a bit of a dirt course or something like that, which I've never experienced before. Jacob, you remember what course that they were thinking about before they switched it?
Yeah, I think it was going to be Williams Grove. And actually, Dean, I just wanted to kind of see if I could throw you for a little bit of a loop here. I actually know a lot about this track. I just kind of wanted to see what you might think about
cheeky.
this. Charlotte Motor Speed. Yeah, you know me. Charlotte Motor Speedway, 1.5 miles in Concord, North Carolina. This track actually used to not be named Charlotte Motor Speedway. It used to be named Lowe's Motor Speedway. It was actually sponsored with Lowe's, with Bruton Smith, who actually used to own the track, the Smiths. Now Marcus Smith ends up owning the track now after Bruton Smith passed on. So Marcus Smith owns this track. He owns a bunch of other tracks with SMI, which would be Atlanta Motor Speedway. It would be obviously here at Charlotte. Bristol would be one of those tracks. Texas would also be one of those tracks. This track's got a lot of history, a lot of tradition. And I'll say this track is very, very bumpy. These guys are going to have their hands full big time with these trucks and trying to be able to save as much tire as they can. But here we go. Guys already leading it off right here. Pace truck leads them into turn 1. And starting on the pole, Corey Crowell will start on the pole with a 30.289 to his outside. Is going to be the 98. of Andrew Tift. Andrew almost had that win in sight last week at Talladega, but then unfortunately getting caught up in a little bit of an accident going into turn 3 kept him short of that. The 15 of Kinsley Smith, believe it or not, running a Michael Waltrip paint scheme similar to what he ran last week in the Gen 4s. Then Diego Rodriguez in that 4th spot. The rest of the guys out here, Michael Smith in 5th, Truth Hoke in 6th. Then you got Joshua Neal 7th, John Schulenbacher, who won last week, in 8th, Michael Brooks 9th, Lemieux Price in that 10th spot. Also Ryan Coker, Kirby Wainscott also will be in that 6th row. Then Lucas Simers and Troy Thomas. That's going to be the 14 guys here ready to rock and roll. Pace truck has pulled off. Corey Crowell and Andrew Tift on the front row. Hit that restart box. Here we go for 101 laps here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Corey Crowell jumps down to the bottom, holds it down there firm. Here comes Tift. Maybe try to get a little bit of a run on the top side. Not able to do it. Here comes the 15 down on the bottom. Kinsley Smith's going to get the run, see if he can jump right up in front of Andrew Tift as they go into 3.
Yeah, it's a great launch and a great way to start off the second race. 101 laps to go on this one. Challenge already at the moment from Kinsley. Try to set up the inside, tucks in behind, a little bit two abreast behind at the moment. Michael Smith and Andrew Tift getting it all done there with 14 drivers on the grid here. Maximum risk, maximum reward. Fence is always there. Cautions are always available in the background if you really want to get that. Diego on the background's all switching and turbing. Wow, what is happening? A little bit of a breakaway in the field already there, Jacob.
Yeah, big time breakaway right now for about the first 9 trucks out here, or first 8 trucks that is. Schulenbacher basically the caboose of that first train, and then Ryan Coker actually leading this second group. Wow, I mean, everybody's really starting to dice it up very, very early here at Charlotte. But I'm telling you, Corey Crowell still trying to hold on to that lead. But I'll tell you, Kinsley Smith on that very first lap almost sent him straight around. He had a hell of a run going into turn 3, coming off turn 4. Had to get out of the gas so he didn't spin him straight around. Kinsley Smith pulling some NASCAR old school right here with that 15. Goes to the top, goes to the bottom, trying to find a way around Crowell. Crowell still trying to put the block on him. Smith putting a lot of pressure on Crowell as Crowell slips just a little bit. Here comes Kinsley Smith down to the bottom. He will get to his door. Here comes Kinsley Smith and the number 15 Napa Auto Parts Silverado on the bottom side. 2 wide for the lead. And here comes Tift trying to see if he can mount a charge. So that's Michael Smith right behind him. Crowell almost gets in the fence as they are still 2 wide right in front of Michael Smith as they go into turn 1.
Yeah, that's right on board if Michael Smith is going to see the battle for the lead at the moment. P1, P2, Corey and Kinsley. Corey Crowell and Kinsley Smith, the 20 and the 15 machine. Kinsley up 1 place, but it's early days here. 5 of 109, 97 to go. They're tucked in again there. So what do you think about Kinsley? Just backed off a little bit, considering shoved his nose in there. Curry said, not on my watch here and not in Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to make the bottom work, but I mean, with these tires right here of how this can be right here, you really don't want to try to run somebody that hard. Usually, when you're able to get to the bottom like that, usually the guy that's on the top side will usually give way to the guy down on the bottom and just go ahead and just ride it out. But I'm telling you, Crowell really wants to hold on to this lead, and he's not giving Kinsley Smith 1 damn inch here at Charlotte. Crowell still holding on to the lead. Smith still sitting in second. Then Michael Smith's actually slipped back to 4th as Andrew Tift made a shot and got around him. And here comes Truth Hope. He's going to be up here in the 59, shoots it down on the bottom side, tries to slide up on the 45. Wow, almost got himself turned right there off of turn 2, but Hope will get clear and put Michael Smith back into that 5th spot. And now he's starting to get some pressure from the 82 of Joshua Neal as Neal gets right up on his back bumper. Actually tagged him right square in the tailgate as they hit the start and finish line going into turn 1.
He tagged him. They absolutely tagged him. Well done. Thank you very much at the moment. Terry's going, I'm loving Jacob's accent. Well, if you don't, he's called their favour seat. He doesn't mind it. The redneck caster. He's the best redneck caster you're going to find anywhere around the world, actually, Jacob. So you got a fan club already, my friend. And I guarantee you got 14 drivers at the moment. They'd be loving to hear your voice back as well as everybody else here in the channel. The second race of the season here for the Racers Elite Big Series, and it's definitely brewing up at the moment. They're going to be door banging. Are there going to be some beef there? That's all trademarked, of course, there to Jacob. Thank you for joining us again, friend.
Absolutely, and honestly, if he wants to hear some more, just for a little bit of a moment right here to promote on my style, you want to hear a little bit more of that. And if you got a TikTok channel, go over to Redneck Announcer 57. That's where you're going to see a whole lot more of this accent in numerous clips all over that channel. It's starting to get a big time following, Dean, but I'll tell you this much. What's getting a big time following is these guys up here in the lead. Kinsley Smith still trying to put that pressure on Corey Crowell. Corey does not want to give up this lead. He does not want to get in behind Kinsley Smith and have to deal with some of that dirty air. But Andrew Tiff not too far behind him. Still trying to stay with, wow, Kinsley gets into Crowell. May have got into him just a little bit, but had to get out of the gas. Now he jumps up to the top side. He's going to see if he can carry that momentum on the top side where Crowell was able to hold him off. Smith pinches him down on the apron. Crowell still down on the bottom of the racetrack, side by side, as now they have flip-flopped in two different lanes. Kinsley Smith still trying to hold this top side as much as he can, trying to jump down, try to pinch Crowell down, maybe just a little bit, as Crowell's going to get the run off of turn 4. Fantastic racing by Crowell and Kinsley Smith up here in the front.
Oh, this is amazing. Now, what is it? A little bit of a pride and privilege, isn't it, of being in the lead of this race? You don't necessarily be, because you still have a ton of laps to go, of course. Plenty of them, 90. And Andrew Teff at the moment, just sitting back at the moment. And I always like sitting on the car back here watching this. He's no way going to gamble to go in the middle, isn't he? What would you do, Jacob? Do you sit on the outside there, sit behind there on the 15 truck, or do you tuck it in there on the 20 there at Corey? What would you be doing, Jacob?
I would just, honestly, if I'm Andrew, I would just, either take that option, what he's doing right there, and try to follow Crowell on the bottom. Either that or just lay back just a little bit. Let these guys race it out, because what they're doing right now is they are absolutely burning them tires to a crisp right now. Burning it completely worse than, I guess you could say, the bottom of a biscuit at Bojangles. These guys really burning up these tires right here. So if Tiff to just back off just a little bit, wow, True Toke actually very, very close to smacking the wall off of turn 4. But if Andrew would just back off a little bit, let these guys go ahead and just race it out. As you see a little bit of door banging, there it is, Dean, a little bit of door banging when Crowell sent it into turn 1 and got up, and Kinsley Smith had to get out of the gas. And now Kinsley Smith, finally, after all the hell and all the fighting, able to get back up here and hold on to the race lead.
Yeah. There it is at the moment. So Andrew sneaks in the middle there of Corey's, dropped back a couple of places. So do you think that's really what's happened? Corey's burnt those boots up, my friend. And these boots are made for walking, all right? So, you're going to be walking your way around 87 more laps here, gentlemen. Of course, there will have to be a pit stop. There's no way they're going to hold off. When do you also expect somewhere along the line somebody's going to be adventuring down in the pit road? Obviously, they'd be waiting for a caution, no doubt. Of course, cheap pit stop. And here we go. Andrew's jumping for up in the fence there at the moment for Kinsley there, Jacob. What happened?
Wow, I think he just might have slipped just a little bit, and here comes Crowell now. He's going to take a shot on Kinsley Smith as Andrew Tiff is going to get away with a race lead. Crowell and Kinsley Smith, they have got very acquainted these last 16 laps, Dean. Been side by side, either lane, any way, been door banging a little bit. May even have a little bit of a beef, I guess you could say, like you were talking about earlier, with how much they've been getting into one another. But honestly, it's some fantastic racing for us to sit here and watch. Some more fantastic racing back here. Diego Rodriguez, Joshua Neal, and Truth Hope back here battling right outside of the podium spot. Truth Hope up on the top, still trying to hold on to it as best as he can. And Joshua Neal, who started 7th, he's going to slip up here now into that 5th spot right in front of Hoke. Neil able to get the run, get around him, and now here comes Diego Rodriguez and that number 24 trying to muster something up down on the bottom. Hoke has been playing with that turn for a wall numerous times right here, Dean. He has come so close to smacking it way straight down. Wow, I mean, Hoke's getting very close to it. He needs to be very careful because he can easily put that bad boy in the fence.
Yeah, Hoke might need some tide at the moment there if he gets a Code Brown moment, isn't it? And he's washing machine because he's about to be tackled on the inside from Diego Rodriguez. And Diego Rodriguez on the inside there with 59 machine. And that's truth to be told on that one. That's done and dusted. Then again, it all comes down to tires. There's more beef at the back, my friend. You know what? If you want a barbecue here at Charlotte, you got one. But then again, there's so much going on. Everybody is enjoying this at the moment. You got the 8 and the 44 machine at the moment. That's Michael Brooks there and Ryan. Tooth and nail. That's because there's a bit of a spread in the field, and that's not too bad, isn't it? Here in Charlotte. I've been here myself personally, my friend. I'm pretty sure you may have ever visited the Speedway before, but it's producing great racing.
It always does, honestly, Dean, and I have been here before, and I've had the pleasure of watching a couple of races here. Not necessarily the trucks here, but I have watched some Xfinity racing. I've actually watched a little bit of Cup qualifying back in the day as well, but more so Xfinity racing than any of them here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And this track is a fantastic facility. It really, really is, and it always puts on some fantastic racing. As you're seeing it right there, Diego Rodriguez jumped to the top, able to get a little bit of a run right there off of turn 4. Gonna get right up on the back bumper of Joshua Neal. See if he can find a way to try to find a way, maybe somehow, to get around Joshua Neal. But check it out, Kinsley Smith. He's starting to slip back just a little bit, starting to slip back into the clutches of Joshua Neal. Could be a battle for third brewing right here within the next couple of laps.
And yeah, just because he started in P3 at the moment, it's been solidly in P3. Do you think he's just saving his tires a little bit? Just, you know, taking it easy at the moment there. He's got big pressure at the moment. He's going to be definitely looking in his mirrors. Then again, he has to say Joshua and Diego are going to be going for 2 for now. All he has to do is be defensive, doesn't he? Just sit in your own place, do your own thing, you know, chill, put some music on, put some tunes on there. Swing Sweet Home Alabama. It ain't going to be Sweet Home Alabama. I don't know a Charlotte song, but he's gone up the high line, and he's definitely going to have to yield that one, I have to say.
Woo. I'm telling you, check it out, boy. They are dicing it up for this third spot. Kinsley Smith tried to hold on to it as long as he can, but Joshua Neal and Diego Rodriguez straight up sending it on Kinsley Smith. Smith able to get away just a little bit. Neal had to get it out the gas a little bit. Now here comes Diego Rodriguez on the top side. He's going to be able to get around Neal. Neal all up in his tailgate, almost set him around, almost turned him into a spinning flying saucer, if you will. Wow, I'm telling you, these guys are duking it out big time as Andrew Tiff has checked out for this lead. I mean, Corey Crowell 2 seconds back from Andrew Tiff. So Tiff's completely, he's in a completely different area code right now than what the Concord, North Carolina. Yes, there's your distance right there. Check it out right here. Here comes Tiff right here, folks. There's Tiff. And then watch this. There went Crowell right there. And then here comes Kinsley Smith and the rest of the field. I'm telling you, Tiff, honestly, at this point in the race, granted, we're right at the quarter mark of this race. But Dane, I have to say it. I mean, you know me. I call it like it is. Andrew Tiff's putting an ass whooping on him right now. Oh,
yeah, exactly. He's doing absolutely he needs to do. And now, once again, is he pushing it a little bit too far? You know, as a race driver, you've been in this truck, so you've been around this truck many, many times. You walked it in person, in real life. Somebody's gone on pit road at the moment. Here we go. Andrew Tiff has gone in. So race leader's gone in. Corey's gone in. And Joshua.
Yep. Yeah, a bunch of them going in. A huge number of them easing in right here. And Dean, that was something that I was just fixing to mention. These guys can go around 30 to 32 laps on a tank of fuel. So these guys, this is a scheduled pit stop right here. And honestly, knowing that they've got to go at around that 30 to 32 mark, it's honestly, it's a fantastic idea to just go ahead and just split it up. 4 pit stops in this race right here because, from what I'm seeing right here, they got 5 sets of tires. So if this sucker goes green, they can pit 4 times and even still have a set of tires laying in the pit should we end up getting some type of green-white checker that can completely throw this race for a big-time loop. But I expect to see the rest of the field easing in within the next 1 to 2 laps.
And the key is to go over wingman really at the end of the day, isn't it? You don't want to be left alone in a super speedway because that's going to be truth to behold, or truth to behold at the moment there. He's going in. He's got a wingman at the moment there of John. King's going to come back out. Diego's going to be out there. So they all are taking a pit stop at the moment together, hopefully. We still have a ton of drivers going around there at the moment, yet to take pit stops. The top 4 at the moment in your timing tables are yet. You expect them to come in soon. So that means that Andrew should essentially still be in the lead of this race. Look at the gap he has over Corey. So we'll see how that pans out at the end of the day. Because obviously Kirby's going at the moment, doesn't he? Like, he's got a bit of a gap there for the 10 machine, but he knows at the end of the day that he's going to have to yield all those positions back there as Michael Brooks goes in. Any major strategy of the undercut and overcut? Because I'm only used to road tracks mainly there, Jacob, because the undercuts are very, very powerful and the overcuts aren't so much. But how do you do it when you're talking about super speedway oval racing?
Well, I mean, what you're trying to do is, especially here at Charlotte, I mentioned it a while ago that this track is basically beat all to hell. I mean, it really is. I mean, if we could get an overshot of what the track is, you can actually see it just a little bit right there when you saw Kirby Wainscott going into the corner. This track is, it's been crack sealed at numerous times. This track's got seams in it. This track, it's been through a lot of, right here, big time right here, turn 3, you see a serious seam all the way on the bottom of the racetrack. What I mean by all that, folks, is you see some other drivers going into the pits. This is what I'm talking about as far as the tire wear is concerned. Wainscott last lap hit a 32.3. Wow, there went Tift right there. He literally just unlapped himself. He ran a 30.8. He's almost 2 seconds faster than Kirby Wainscott. Why is he? It's because he's got those fresher tires, and Wainscott's out there on old shoes. So, so to answer your question, honestly, you can undercut. So if you undercut, you're going to have the fresher tires on that run and be able to try to get a gap on your competition if they do decide to stay out for about 5 laps. Here's the trick. Wainscott's going the other route. Wainscott's staying out as long as he possibly can. So what Wainscott's going to end up doing is when Tift and them have older tires, when it gets to that point, Wainscott and them, they're going to have newer tires at that point. But here comes Kirby Wainscott going into the pits.
Oh, and not the right way as well too. He's cooked it in the braking point. He's hit the gas, mate. He's hit the stop pedal. Unfortunately, he hasn't. So Tiff, of course, will then take the lead of this race with the first of the pit stops there, Jacob. So there it is. And have you done that before, Jacob? You slapped on the stop pedal and the rear end of the truck's going no, and then just going oopsie doozy. That's going to cost you a lot of pit stop time, especially on the green.
I've done it back in my earlier days, I guess you could say, not knowing the limits that you could be putting down on that brake pedal, because you got to be very careful with that brake pedal, especially in these trucks or mainly in the trucks, because if you put the brake pedal down too hard, what you're going to do is you're going to lock the back end of the truck up, and then the whole back end is just going to start swirling around, and then there's no way to control the truck as much as you can. And I guarantee you, a lot of these guys, knowing that this track actually produces a tight portion of a setup, these guys have probably got that brake bias dropped all the way down. And for those of you that don't know about the brake bias, and Dean, you'll learn something about this right here. If you have the brake bias down as low as you possibly can get it, when you give it some brake, what it's going to do is it's going to help that truck turn. It's going to help it be able to rotate while you're trying to slow down. While you're slowing down, that truck is actually going to start turning to the left. So that may have a little bit to do with what happened to Wayne Scott right there. He might have had that brake bias down a little bit too low than when he really wanted it. That might have been what made that back end of the truck kick out a little bit. That might have been exactly what happened to him.
It'll murder him at the moment, so murder's a bad word, but look at that. He's coming out of pit road right now. Right now he's coming out of pit road, but we'll go back on board at the moment and riding on board. Give us a feel at the moment because you can see there's a lap car up the road there. I'll show you a little bit of the battle box situation of that. And so Andrew Tiff's up the road. That is a back marker currently at the moment. They're trying to get past. And he, in fact, is going to use the advantage of that back marker there. Jacob.
Wow, here we go. Crowell, actually, that was big time moves right there as Coker actually got right smack dab in front of Tiff, ended up having to get him out of the gas. But here we go. Now we got a 3-horse race, and these are the only 3 drivers that's even close for the lead. Tiff has the lead. Crowell sitting in second, and Kenzie Smith sitting in third. Tiff runs the bottom. Crowell runs the bottom. Kenzie Smith, all of them taking the shot down on the bottom of the racetrack. Every single one of them mimicking each other's lines. Crowell trying to use a little bit of draft as they go into turn number 3. Tiff still down on the bottom of the racetrack. Crowell's going to go a little bit higher. He's going to see if he can get some momentum. Maybe try to make him mount up a charge right here on Andrew Tiff, and he will make that charge. He is to the right rear quarter panel of Tiff. Here we go, side by side, the 98 and the 20. Andrew Tiff and Corey Crowell for the lead here at Charlotte.
You can see on the track map, so they're past that traffic at the moment. A little bit more cars in the background. Kensley Smith is still lurking in there, and there's a bit of a 2-second gap back. But they're going for the 98 and the 20 machine, and look at that on the outside there. Corey's going, I like the fence. The fence likes me. I brought it flowers there. The 98 machine there of Andrew says, all right, I've also brought flowers for the fence before, my friend, and I visited a medical center. But he's backed off and just allowed Corey to cruise on by in the lead of this race.
Yeah, but you got to be careful where you put them flowers at on that top side because you can straight up burn them tires up to a crisp, and we've already seen it here in this race. What that top side can do, it can really make you start to slip back. Matter of fact, Crowell was smack dab in that same position. That's the guy that I'm talking about, as he ran the top numerous times, and then Kenzie Smith got to his back bumper. Then both of them basically burnt their tires up, racing each other to death. And Andrew Tiff slipped right by him, so he's got to be able to try to not get up there too much on that top side, because if he does, he's going to burn them tires up big time, and Tiff's going to reel him right back in, or maybe even Kenzie Smith, who's really mounting a charge on Andrew Tiff. I mean, he sent it in turn 3, almost nailed him right square in the tailgate, but had to back away, and Tiff will be able to get a little bit more of a gap between him and Kenzie Smith.
You watch at the moment there from Kenzie Smith. Look at the fighting the steering wheel he is. They've gone in there. Have they taken fresh boots? Everybody on the grid at the moment, all 14 drivers have been in and out of the pit road. In fact, 2 of them, Kirby and Lucas in P13 and P14, have been in the pit. They're actually out of the race at the moment, so apologies about that one. But everybody else is in and out of pit road. But look at that. At the moment, Andrew's fighting. Now, how does it feel? As a race driver there, Jacob, and the dirty air of the truck, but also sucking you into the truck literally with the draft there. Now he's got to be breaking the dirty air on the inside apron. Are you hugging that blue line like your favorite grandma?
Yeah, I mean, you really don't want to follow them into the corner. That's why you see a lot of drivers maybe try to jump to the top, try to jump to the bottom. So what Tiff's trying to do is trying to figure out exactly which way Crowell's going to go. Is he going to go to the top, or is he going to go down to the bottom? Because if you end up getting right behind him, you end up catching that draft. That's what you want on the straightaways, but then you have to adjust accordingly when you're going in the corner. You have to back out of the throttle more than what you would normally do if you was not in the draft. So, and you know, to that point, you don't want to be in the draft in the corner, because when you gas it up, that air is just going to just straight up make that truck go straight to the right. It's going to carry more speed. It's going to make you burn more tires up. So Tiff trying to play a little bit of an aero game, trying to get out of the way of Corey Crowell. That way he doesn't burn them tires up. That way when he does get to his door, and looks like there he goes, he will get to the door. Now, side-by-side battle for the lead. Crowell on the top side, Tiff on the bottom. Tiff slides up just a little bit, able to drop it back down to the bottom of the racetrack. Crowell gets the run on the top, but these two are fighting it out. as actually Crowell actually gets way out of the gas. May have surrendered just a little bit to Tiff, maybe not, maybe looking for the crossover as they hit the front stretch.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it a wise thing to be surrendering it at this point or just continue to battling? Because I always say it's not too bad at the moment because they are dropping Kensley Smith a little bit. So whatever they're doing is doing it well. And perhaps they're helping each other along. They're guiding each other along. Ooh, Kensley Smith goes a little bit of a dancing at the fence in the background. He's got Diego Rodriguez there in the background, but I guess they're having fun. Why not have fun? The 98 and the 20 machine there on lap 45, 57 to go. Still no caution. Let's not jink it there, Jacob. But guess what? Diego Rodriguez in the background is not. He's like, come on, I want to join this party at the moment. But the party is Andrew Tiff and Corey Ronwell. Crowell. All right, that's all right.
Tiff is going to be able to get clear. Almost got into the fence right there off of turn number 2. I mean, actually, he did get into the turn 2 wall. That may play detrimental to his truck and him later on in this race because Tiff has been the fastest truck out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. That may end up hurting him. He didn't like he actually slapped it as hard as as some other guys like we saw Truth Hoke straight up almost kill the turn 4 wall earlier on. But he gave it a little bit of a love tap. He let that wall know that, hey, this 98 truck is out here. So Tiff barely getting into the fence, but able to get around Corey Crowell and get in some of that clean air. Now Crowell, he's going to have to try to find a way to get back to him. Try to use that draft on the straightaway. But here he comes. Tiff way out of the gas right here. Something may be amiss on this 98 because this 20 just had a hell of a shot. I mean, a hell of a run down the front stretch. It looked like he hit the nitrous button going down the front stretch. Here comes Crowell, maybe trying to take another shot for the lead as we're getting close to the halfway point.
Is he running on moonshine or is that a little bit too soon? Of course, it's not too soon. Somebody's asking him. Everybody's blowing up the chat about where's Jacob from? Where's Jacob from? Is it from Georgia? Well, Jacob's going to tell you a little bit at the moment because he's focused so much on the race at the moment. Where's Corey from? Where's Andrew from is also a question at the moment. But yes, he's got curb on the back of the 98 machine there. Corey's been staring at that for some time. He's passed it a few times and now he's getting back on it, cranking it up. Traffic coming into play there as I show that track map as well too, Jacob. Now, how does that play into the fingertips of these gladiators?
I'm telling you, it will play big time into that. But honestly, Dean, it is showtime here at Charlotte. Andrew Tiff is in a big time battle. Corey Crowell has took numerous shots at the back bumper of it. As Kensley Smith, who was running third, he is in the grass. What in the hell happened to the 15? He was right there behind him, really going for this whole deal right here. Actually, it looks like he gets spun off of turn 4, actually hit the fence and then slid right down in front of Michael Brooks, and Brooks ends up hooking it. There you see it right there. Smith just gets into the gas just a little bit too much, goes up, smacks the turn 4 wall, and then sends it right down in front of Hoke. Here goes Corey Crowell. We'll see how far Andrew Tiff's going to be able to push it out here on the track. I do not think he's going to stay out there too much longer because, once again, we are right here at the halfway point right here, Dean. This is scheduled pit stop, so I expect Andrew Tiff to be going in within the next 2 to 3 laps if he wants to try to stay on pace with Corey Crowell.
You see if he goes in right now, he's going to go another lap there, so you can see on the track map at the moment, there's Corey, that little dot. Corey's just starting to come back out now. So Andrew, where's Andrew? There he is. You can see down the back stretch. They'll be able to be entering into. I really don't get the track, the corner numbers there too correct there. So 3 or 4. I'm not really sure. It's all oval anyway. But yeah, he's going to go in, isn't it? Diego's gone in. Truth has gone in. The cameras are just murdering me at the moment. They're down into pit road and to pit lane, and God, they really are murdering me. Sorry about that one. There's a previous race winner. Oh, just missed his pit stop by a little bit. Andrew's gone in now. There it is. Trey Thomas has stayed out. But we know he has to go back in. Now, who you want to look at, my friend? Who do you think is going to be the one? What about Curry? So where's Curry? Here he is.
Yep, Corey really trucking it right now, going down the backstretch, easing into this turn number 3. Still need to keep eye on Andrew Tift. He's already dropped the right side, trying to drop
There's
the left
Andrew.
side, trying to get him to get it going. Here goes Tift.
There's
He
Curry.
shoots completely off of pit road, but he's gonna have to keep it down and not jump up above that blend line.
And there's
Here
Curry.
comes Crowell. Check it out. Here is the battle. Crowell sends it straight past him, but he did go in a couple laps earlier. Actually, that undercut, what you was talking about, Dean, he undercutted Andrew Tift big time right there. This is going to be one. This is going to see. We're going to see it right here. We're going to see what Andrew Tift's got right here. We're going to see if he's going to be able to sneak back up here and get a hold of Corey Crowell. But check it out, Joshua Neal. He is not playing around neither. He's reared his head right smack dab in the middle of this, battling with Andrew Tift as Neal gets very loose over in turn 1 and 2, able to save the truck. And Andrew Tift's going to sneak right by him and set his sights back on his arch nemesis at this point throughout this race, Dean, which obviously is the number 20 of Corey Crowell.
And Josh Neal, maybe he played his cards a little bit better, isn't it? Boxing a few laps earlier, got the pace up. Remember, it takes a few laps there to get those tires up to the pace, isn't it? Get back into the rhythm. You can see it as we're riding right now on the board with the 82 machine of Joshua. And he's keeping up with Andrew, but Andrew has got the pace there. We know that Andrew Tift has been battling it out at the top of the timesheets there. Troy Thomas still leading, but Troy is expected to pit road. In fact, all the top 3. Michael Brooks goes into pit road, so he was running in P2. You'll see him just to your left there. He's going to sneak on in there. We're still seeing Troy and Ryan to get in there because we've been green, green, green all the way. We have 46 to go. Hopefully we go green to the end. Nothing like it, Jacob, isn't it? A full green race. That means to say drivers have to maximize the strategy of what they have without having to rely on a pace car to, crank it all up, let's say, or bunch everybody up together. It's all just pure pace, pure man, pure machine, man or woman, and pure Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, this is what the typical race fan loves to see. I mean, granted, they also do love to see, obviously, some wrecks. And, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't mind seeing a wreck every now and then. But this is typical racing right here. This is what racing is. You take whatever strategy that you can possibly make out of what you're given. You take what you're given, and then you work with it. And that's what Crowell's done right here. He has threw in some kind of crazy strategy trying to undercut Andrew Tift. And he's looking at that 98 saying, damn it, if you want to win this race, come get it. This is the strategy that I'm laying out at this point. I undercut you. I'm going to be a little bit fresher while you was out there. Now see if you can come and get me, because both of them look very, very close to one another when they was out there on that same set of tires. Because if you think about it, Tift and Crowell, they went in at the same time, if I'm not mistaken.
And Ryan's
I believe both of them went at the same time.
Murdered in these tires at the moment. Look at that. He can't even keep it on the tractor. Either that or he's out of gas. He is dropping like the 1929 Stock Exchange. Barely even get this truck stopped in time. But anyway, back into the business end of this one. Here's Andrew, and here is Corey.
Yep, here he comes. I mean, he is making some moves, and he is making a run at it right here. Andrew Tift, like I said, Crowell was sitting there saying, Tift, if you want it, come and get it. And damn it, he has came and he is trying to take it, Dean, all up in his tailgate right here. And remember, Tift is on a couple of lap fresher tires than Corey Crowell right here. So what will Tift be able to do? Obviously going to have that fresh rubber. We'll see if he can sneak it right by Corey Crowell as they're actually coming up, I believe, on a lap truck, as the leader, Troy Thomas, has actually he is on pit road making his pit stop. So when they come back around, this is the battle for the lead.
Yeah, I mean, Troy. I didn't know how far Troy could go at that point, isn't it? He was going to be eaten alive, essentially, or barbecued alive at the moment. Look at this. Andrew, what does Andrew do at the moment? Andrew Tift has his tires. Look at that tire pit stop strategy. So his tires a little bit fresher. Do you think he's saving it up there? 41 laps to go. Can go to the end on these tires. Do you think he's like, I'll pace myself? You know what I mean? Because all that matters at the end of the day, my friend, is those final couple of laps when you see Barney.
Yeah, I mean, and if history, proceeds itself, and if I'm, correct on how everything's been going, Obviously, you see it right there, 62 laps right now. I'd say within the next 13, 14 laps, these guys are going to go back in, and what will happen? Will Corey Crowell try to pull the undercut and do the same damn thing that he did in the last pit stop? Will he go at that point? We'll see what Crowell does, but I'm telling you, Tift, he is trying to get there, but I'm telling you, that dirty air is really starting to affect that 98 truck right there. He is all over the back bumper of Corey Crowell, really wanting to try to make this pass, wants to dump it down on the bottom, but Crowell will not give up this bottom side. I don't think Tiff wants to go to the top because he don't want to burn these tires up any more than what he has to, because he may end up going just a little bit longer and trying to run it a little bit longer. That way he's got something for him right here in the last part of this race.
It's covered off at the moment. Corey went to the top there, so he's not. The traffic at the road will be an instance. Terry's asking about where is Jacob from. Jacob, don't spoil it into the very end, okay? I'll tell you what at the moment. Terry, you stick around to the very end of the show there. Jacob, up to you. Do you want to let him, the audience there at the moment, let them know where you're from at the moment, as it's not a spoiler alert. You're going to wait 38 laps, gentlemen. Jacob, don't give him that answer just yet. As well as we don't know who's going to win this race, Corey or Andrew or perhaps anybody else.
Yeah, I ain't telling nobody nothing at this point, Dean. I'll let them know. But, I mean, folks, don't worry about where I'm from. Worry about what's going on right here, because this right here, this is, like I said, this is racing at its finest. Corey Crowell has really done a fantastic job at holding off Andrew Tift, trying to hold down the lead as much as he can. I want to talk about somebody that was up there at the front, was actually making it a 3-horse race. That's the 15 of Kinsley Smith, way back here in 11th spot, 2 laps down. That is very, very unfortunate to see that, but check it out. We got a lap truck right smack dab in the middle of this lead battle. It's both Corey Crowell and Tift able to sneak by him. And they're catching some even more lap traffic. 2 more trucks that they're going to have to find a way to try to get around. Wow, this lap traffic will play a big factor here into the end of this race.
That's a question I wanted to ask you there as a racing driver yourself, my dear friend, because once again, I own it practically everything in iRacing, never driven a single lap there. So iRacing, you owe me about $5,000 of change. But anyway, we won't talk about that. Lap traffic now, and also in oval racing, what is lap traffic? Do they just continue on their own path and you find your own way around, or they kind of like in ovals where you have a blue flag and say you should move side? How does this pan out?
Well, I mean, usually they would, Dane, usually you would have something that sit there, you would have somebody holding up the flag that you're talking about, the blue and, or the cross flags or whatever the hell they make it look like, the blue flag, with the yellow line through it, signaling, hey, you got some faster guys going up. But obviously, in the sim, there's nothing like that. For the oval series. Now, for the road series, there is a flag that'll pop up on your screen to let you know that there is lead lap cars coming up behind you. Just like Andrew Tift is coming up straight behind Corey Crowell, he actually has found a little bit of a breathing room where he can take a shot, and he takes the shot. Crowell down on the bottom, actually trying to pull up and maybe try to get some side draft, but not able to do it. Andrew Tift's going to be able to get clear on the fresher tires, and now the 98's going to jump right smack dab back in front of the lead. But do not look now, as we are on lap 70 here in the next 5 laps. I expect them to go right back in what could be the final pit stop of the race.
And 32 to go, and look at that track map at the moment. They have traffic. So, well, we all know what traffic's like, don't we? We've all been, whether or not you're actually in the virtual world or in the real world, traffic's traffic. It's like your grandma driving on the I-95 highway, like, move over! Because they want to get on with it. And I'm caught Andrew Teff at the moment. We need to navigate this as quickly as possible. Let's go on board at the moment there. So, Jacob, you got this truck up the road there. All right, it's practically, I'm not sure who that truck is currently at the moment. What's the little batter box at the moment? Yeah, there it is. So, well, it's you can see on the dot there, just Maybe it's the number 14 machine. No, 14th place there. What do you do at the moment? Now you're thinking about it. You're battling. You know, you've got Corey in your mirrors, but we're not looking at the mirrors right now. We're currently looking at what Andrew is trying to focus on. Can he get a draw? Can he get a nice draw from that there? Is he going to throw him off as he's trying to find where do I go, left or right? What do you do, Jacob? What do you do?
I mean, you just basically just try to do everything that you possibly can. I mean, you got to do what you got to do at this point. I mean, Tift, he's trying to see if he can use as much draft as he can right here off this lap truck, right smack dab in front of him, and try to find a way around him. And also, I mean, I got to give a little bit of a shout out to the back bumper right there, Salt Life. That's awesome. That's Michael Smith in the 45 that Andrew Tift is going to be able to go around. Michael Smith goes straight out of the way. Now he's got to watch right here. Comes Crowell. He's going to be right up his back bumper. He may end up making it a little bit hard for Crowell to be able to try to get around, because mentioning about that dirty air, I mean, it is what it is when you're dealing with a truck on the lead lap, as you see the lap truck getting out of the way of Crowell. But, I mean, you don't want to deal with any dirty air, especially off of lap cars, when you got a shot to try to come up here and get a win. But thankfully, you know, Michael Smith able to get out of the way, out of Tift and Crowell's way, and be able to, you know, slide right by them. So now it's back down to 0.7 of a second at that time when they hit the line. Crowell's still trying to find a way to claw back up there, but, I mean, obviously Crowell, as we mentioned, he went early. When will he go? Will he go within the next 5, or at least the next 5 laps? That's what I'm seeing right here, Dean. I'm saying he's got to go within the next 5 laps. I'm amazed he hasn't already went in, because we already seen these guys go at lap 25. We seen them go at 50. Like Crowell, he's basically done it in 25 lap increments. I'm shocked that he ain't went in yet, but I wouldn't doubt it. I bet he goes in right here.
He hit the fence. Andrews hit the fence a little bit. You saw that, like a little tank slapper of the fence there. It's going to compromise a little bit of exit speed. In fact, if anything, look at that. Corey's just gaining big time.
There he goes.
Now.
There he goes. Corey Crowell going into the pits. Yep, that's about when I thought he was going to go. Corey Crowell, he is right on the money with the strategy that he's been doing.
Now, can he spot it?
He is going to take it right down, but he's got to be able to not slide through the box. He's got to be able not to speed 45 miles an hour here on this pit road. It's got to be very crucial. And I'm sitting there watching the speed that he's doing. He's flipping back and forth between 44 and 45, so he should be just fine.
Yep.
Got it right smack dab in that pit box. Perfect for him.
And Andrew's got in. So here it is, my friend. Andrew has to hit this perfectly as well. So it's interesting, isn't it? Because Corey's going to come back out. Corey's still there. Cameras. But there it is. God, I'm going to have to fire some people with these cameras, my friend. But yes, Andrew has to spot this perfectly as well, too. You know that. And this is something I wanted to ask you there, Jacob. I've been surprised at how many mistakes drivers make in pit road. Like, they're not practices?
Yeah, I mean, you usually do. Especially, mainly what you're really practicing is getting on pit road. That's where you mainly want to make sure that you're able to get it going. Tift actually spins coming out of the pits. Oh my goodness. That is not what he wanted. And caution on the Speedway.
He's blocked it. Yeah.
Here we go, Dean. This is going to completely flip this race over on its lid. Wow. I mean, that just happened out of absolutely nowhere right there.
God, I tell you what, when you have an expert broadcaster / driver, well, a commentator / driver in here, well, I'm going to call you a broadcaster, my friend. How did you capture that without me capturing it? Wow.
I'm sitting right here watching Tift as he was coming off of pit road. Check it out right here. I mean, he just gasses it up and yeah, I mean, he just, wow. I mean, I think he might have just got on the gas just a little bit too hard. Spun them wheels straight around.
Not even before the real exit. I mean, I guess he was at the very exit of that. And we're going to go back to that. Now, let me know. Let's have a look at the cockpit at the moment, mate. So here we go. So he's going to rev it up. Explain what happened.
Okay, yep. So here he goes. He revs it up right here. You see it right there. Yeah, I think he was actually still in first gear right there. I think that's exactly what it was. I think he was actually still in first gear, and he gassed it up right there and tried to make it go into second. And it probably didn't take, and it stayed in first. And then, I mean, there it was right there. I mean, just straight up spun straight around right there. So, wow, what was that? What was that right there? Lap truck right there with Crowell.
Yeah.
Do we have beef? Do we have beef here on Racers Elite? I mean, maybe not. Maybe he was just trying to get out of the way. I'm not real sure. I might be jumping the gun here a little bit,
Hey,
folks.
Jacob, this is not the Outback Steakhouse, my friend. What's Corey doing on the inside apron here? He's trying to sort themselves out there, so you'd have to give it to Troy. I'm going to murder these camera people sometimes, but there is Troy coming back out of pit road there. So you have Truth here, and Corey should be behind the pace car. Now, I'm wondering in a second there, Jacob. Yes, I give you permission, my friend. Do you want to pull somebody in there for a quick little yarn? We're on 23 to go here for the Racers Elite.
I mean, you know, we can. Yeah. We can. I mean, we can pull somebody in here. I mean, honestly, better person to pull in the booth right now, other than, obviously, we'll bring in the 98, Andrew Tift. We'll bring him in. Andrew, I mean, you know, you've had a very dominant truck throughout this night. You and Corey Crowell have been battling very hard, but what happened right there coming off of pit road?
Yeah, I think I just shifted in a second a little too early and kind of dropped the clutch or something and lost it. But yeah, gonna regroup him and see what happens here, I guess.
What's it gonna take right here to be able to try to beat Corey Crowell? Because I mean, he's been lightning fast. He's really been, I guess you could say, throwing the strategy off with you just a little bit, because it looks like both of you are the fastest trucks out here. What's it gonna take to try to get a win here this evening?
I've been able to chase him down on older tires, or if he uses his stuff up when he's passing people. So hopefully it gets a little racy here, and he's got to use a little tire to fend off all the guys next to him, and I think that'd probably be best case for me.
Awesome. Well, Andrew Tift's going to see if he can try to snag him a win here tonight. And Andrew, before we let you go, you got any final thoughts before we hit this restart?
Yeah, I'm not even sure.
Well, Sarah Smile out there's got. Sorry, mate. Sarah Smile's got. You got this, Andrew. Right? You got a fan club out there in the live chat here on the JP Broadcasting Network. So that's going to give you a little bit of motivation, my friend.
Yeah, Sarah's great. Yeah, I'm sure it's about to get wild here. So you guys enjoy the show.
We plan to, buddy. Good luck, and hopefully we'll talk to you at the end of this thing. That was Andrew Tift, and Dean, he just called it right there. He just called it. It's fixing to get wild, and Dean, you know what we love. We love for it to get wild. We really do.
Oh, we absolutely do, my friend. It's going to get wild here in Charlotte, and it's going to get wild in round 2 of the trucks. I mean, imagine it just switched it over. Remember talking about the dirt track that I have no idea even what that track was earlier. But the drivers have re-voted and elected, of course, Charlotte. But what about Troy? You got to give it to this man, don't you? The number 6 machine. He has gained 11 positions, just quietly achieving what he needs to achieve. And of course, you know that for a fact there, Jacob. All that matters, my friend, is a few more laps when Barney's waving that flag. Get that truck across the line before anybody else, and you got a race win.
Yeah, I mean, he's put the strategy down to the way that he thinks that he needs to make it work, and right now it's showing to be true right now. I mean, Troy Thomas right now sitting in the 3rd spot, right behind Crowell and Diego Rodriguez. I mean, he's doing a fantastic job. He really has this evening. So, I mean, honestly, he's been a sleeper in the field, honestly, Dean. He has been a sleeper in the field. Do not take your eyes off of that number 6 of Troy Thomas right there. He will be a factor here in the end of this race. But, Dean, I'll bring this up to you right here. You know, we just got through talking to Andrew Tift. He said it's going to get wild. Corey Crowell's been up there. Tift's been able to run him down, but now Tift's going to have to go to the back of the line because he has to take the wave around. Who wins it? Who do you think's going to be able to pull it out tonight and get the win here at Charlotte?
You're going to throw me in the fence, aren't you, my dear friend, to decide that one. Well, I tell you what, my friend. I mean, you got to look at Truth there with the extra fresh boot spare. I have to give it to Troy Thomas. I think Troy Thomas may be the one that steps out of the shadows and into the spotlight here in Charlotte, because you have those boots that he's just got on. Fresher boots there, gained 11 positions.
quietly achieving what he needs to do. He has the pace, no doubt. I mean, he's not pulling the absolute quickest laps that need to be pulled, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. As I said, he just needs to pull it when Barney's waving there and gets the job done. So we shall see, and we were all going for, what about the chat? You're all out there. You're the ones who are enjoying this entertainment. That's why we put this entertainment on for you. You have the luxury, and stick around, of course, if you do want to find out, and of course, if Jacob wants to let you know where Jacob is from, because you're the best redneck caster in all of iRacing and all of esports here in the Americas and everywhere around this blue globe. Hopefully blue for some time, isn't it there, Jacob? It's still blue for now.
Yep, and you know, not to mention once again, but you know, like I said, you know, I've heard, you know, I've been sitting there reading some of the comments that we've had right here, Dean. I've been sitting there saying, and for some reason or other, everybody is really excited to find out where I'm from. Well, stick around in about 20 laps. We'll give you a heads up on it. Pace truck has pulled off. Corey Crowell gets away big time from Diego Rodriguez. Rodriguez, not a good start on that top side. He was the only one on the top. Everybody else smack dab on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Troy Thomas. Dean, you called it right here with this number 6. Troy Thomas going to see if he can take a shot right here at Corey Crowell. He got around Diego Rodriguez. Will he have enough to get Corey Crowell? We'll find out here. Coming to 18 short laps. Here comes Tift on the bottom of Truth Oak as they come off of turn number 4.
Yeah, well, I haven't called it yet, my dear friend, so, you know, it ain't over until Barney waves that flag at 18 to go. But he's going to mount a charge, and that's all that matters. But you got to mount that charge at the end there. And as you said, keep an eye on Andrew Teffy. He ain't over there yet there. And Diego's still hanging in there. But look at this. I think Troy's thinking about this. He's thinking on the upside line there. What do you think about this one there?
Well, I'm telling you, I think you called this race right here big time. Wow, out of nowhere. Troy Thomas in the number 6 to the lead around Corey Crowell. Crowell's still going to be down on the bottom of the racetrack. Troy Thomas jumps right down in front of him. And Troy Thomas is pulling away right now from Corey Crowell. He's got to be very careful not to burn those tires up. But I'll tell you another man that might be burning them tires up just a little bit more. Here comes Tift. He gets around Diego Rodriguez. Andrew Tift all the way up to 3rd. Now setting his sights on Corey Crowell and our new leader, Troy Thomas, in that number 6.
I think those boots are made for walking, my friend, and they're going to be making for walking all over the drivers. Look at this in the background here. This is definitely brewing up for crucial points in this championship at the moment. As you can see, Troy just making his way up the road there calmly and coolly, but there is Tiff. There is Tiff. He's chasing him down. He's hunting. He is hunting him. The 98 machine going up to the outside wall. He's like, I'm not going to let Troy take this one away from me. He wants it, and he's definitely foaming at the mouth for it here at the moment. Look at the tires. They're definitely coming to play.
Yeah, I mean, Tift really sending it right here on this top side, trying to see if he can make it stick, able to get it to stick. Now Crowell's going to have to drop back in behind him, try to pull some draft. He's got to be careful. Here comes Joshua Neal on that 82. 82 is really starting to make some ground as numerous drivers have shot around this number 24 of Diego Rodriguez. And Truth Hope not too far back from him. Right behind Hoke, you still got Schulenbarger back here, who won last week in the Gen 4s at Talladega. He's going to take a shot. Oh, wow, gets into the back of Truth Hope. Almost sends him going into turn 1. These guys back here, I mean, hell, they may be racing for 6th, but honestly, they're racing like it is the last lap, trying to go for the win back here. And that's racing, folks. That's all the racing that you could ask for right there. That's all we could ever ask for is these guys to try, and they are doing it big time here tonight at Charlotte.
It goes to show you the fantastic world of the oval. And they're definitely dancing the fence, my friend, at the moment. Definitely dancing. We might have to switch it up and a little bit up to the business end at the moment, because here it is. Corey, right here. There's your number 20 machine. There's your 98. And where's Thomas, mate? I'm sorry. Look at that. Thomas. 13 to go up the road there. Clearly with a massive lead. You don't see that very often in oval racing. But when you do, it's got to feel good.
I mean, he has straight up checked out from the field. He is a 2.5 seconds over Andrew Tift and Corey Crowell, who are still battling it out for that 2nd spot. Right behind him, Joshua Neal running smack dab on the bottom. Diego Rodriguez still stuck right behind him. These 4 trucks seeing if they can muster something up and maybe have something to run down Troy Thomas. But Truth Hoke is not going away. Here comes Hoke down to the bottom. Thinks about it, jumps right back in behind Diego Rodriguez, and Schulenbacher's basically following Hoke anywhere he goes. Rodriguez up. Schulenbacher gets stuck in the fence, slams it hard going into turn number 1, right in front of Michael Brooks. Brooks has to get out of the gas so he didn't run him over. But now here comes Truth Hoke down on the bottom, maybe looking at it. Now Schulenbacher may be looking to the top as he drives it into 3. Sends Truth Hoke almost up into Diego Rodriguez. Had to get out of the gas and had to get on the brakes. These guys fighting very, very hard back here. And Dean, this is just for 6th right now in the field. And Schulenbacher almost puts him in the fence again.
Well, you get paid the big bucks to earn the big points, and they certainly are at the moment there, Jacob. Because you got to get in the fence, you got to get your elbows out, you got to get your door banging, and you got to get the beef, as you said. The beef is, at the moment, it's still almost 2 seconds at the moment. Andrew Teff is not be able to cut into Troy. Maybe it could be my first ever fantastic prediction for the race win, but this is where the action of Jackson is at, and it's all going everywhere at the moment. There's Cronwell, and there's Andrew. He's getting into the boot, I was going to say. We call it the boot at the moment. You call it the trunk in the United States of America here in Charlotte. 9 to go.
I'm telling you right now, Tift and Crowell do not look as fast as they have been all night long. And Troy Thomas has straight up not looked like he has all night long. He is straight up still checking out. Now over a 2-second lead over Andrew Tift and Corey Crowell. I mean, wow, we may have to check that number 6 after the race and find out if he's going to be able to pass Tech or not, because he is straight up gone right now, Dean. But the battle is on for second. Tift all up into the back bumper of Crowell. Crowell and Tift still battling it hard over in turn number 3 right behind them. Rodriguez all the way up into the fence. Neal almost put him up there. And now Hope trying to see if he can run this top side, find a way around Joshua Neal, maybe get a little bit of draft off of Rodriguez and see if he can send it on the top side, and he will. Hoke all the way on the top, Neal down on the bottom. Neal trying to see if he can keep it on the bottom and not stuff him in the fence. Hard racing back here, and this is for a top 5 spot between the number 59 of Truth Hoke and the 82 of Joshua Neal.
7 to go at the moment, and don't even worry about Troy Thomas. He's gone. He's gone. What is it? I don't even know what the next track is at the moment, my friend, but he's already packed his bag, he's licked the stamp, and he's sent it, and he's gone. It's all about the battle for P2. It's all about the battle for P3, and the battle currently at the moment you're seeing is establishing for the rest of the field here for just basically not crumbs, but points. All points matter at the end of the day of the season. Of course, we're only in round 2. Hey, they're battling like it's the last round of the season.
Yeah, I mean, they are digging right now, and Neal still trying to hold on right here. Truth Hoke all up in his back bumper, almost goes into the grass, drops it down on the bottom side. Joshua Neal all the way on the top. Do not count out Michael Brooks. Brooks right behind him in that number 8. He may have something to say about this, trying to go for a top 5. Hoke way out of shape, almost loses it off of turn 2. Right in front of Brooks. Brooks maybe had to get out of the gas, maybe not. But Neal sends it. Hoke sends it. Brooks just trying to ride in line. As up front, Troy Thomas still checking out, maybe not. Corey Crowell actually eat into the lead by about 4/10. Will Corey Crowell have enough time to run down that number 6 of Troy Thomas?
Oh, cool. He's hungry, but look at that. Just seeing him as he's turning in right now. That's 1.6. Think about it, 4 to go. That's a lot. That is a lot, partner. You are gambling. And look at those tires. Remember, we have to say at the end of the day, like the tire difference does benefit Thomas, remember. So those boots definitely have a little bit more traction there. Even if Corey is a little bit quicker on the track, it doesn't really matter. Thomas is like, it doesn't matter how quick you are, my friend. There's called 4 points of contact. And that one of the most important things you can have in a motor vehicle, regardless of how quick you are, it's called tires.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to really find something right here and really start digging. I mean, he's only really made up 1/10 of a second, and that's not going to be enough. here in the closing laps. Coming to 2 laps to go right here. Troy Thomas gonna see if he can get him a win. Absolutely coming out of nowhere here tonight. Literally started tail end Charlie on the field. 14th out of 14 trucks. He is obviously the biggest mover in the field out of absolutely nowhere as he sends it into turn number 3. Corey Crowell, look at this. Yeah. I mean, straight up focused right here with Troy Thomas. He comes off turn 4. He will take the white flag out of the 101 laps. Troy Thomas all by himself up here. Corey Crowell still said if he can try to mount some type of charge, he's cut it down to 1.2 seconds. But if Thomas does not get in the fence right here, that will be all she wrote right here. Troy Thomas absolutely gone. And Crowell with a little bit of faster speed right here at the end, but it's not going to be enough. Tiff tries to make one last effort to try to get Crowell. It's not going to be enough. Troy Thomas will get the win tonight here at Charlotte. Crowell will get second. Andrew Tift will get third. Diego Rodriguez fourth, and Joshua Neal able to hold off Truth Hoke and Michael Brooks for a top 5 finish. Damn, Dean, what a race.
I called it. I had called it, my friend,
You
and
called
I'm
it.
starting to get used to oval racing now. It's taken me a few months or whatever, but now I'm starting to call what the strategies are, how they pan out, and how they get it done. I always say, my friend, the quiet achievers, it's the one, isn't it? Just getting it done slowly. You just look at the gains. That's all it takes, isn't it? Just keeping, and it's only had the one. Look at that. And you better be giving me some donouts, my friend, because that, you know, forget Netflix, forget Formula One. This is Drive to Survive, and this is Drive to Conquer Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Dean's dog, I guess you could say right here. Troy Thomas able to get the win. Come out of absolutely nowhere tonight, Dean. He put on a hell of a race, able to get it done here this evening. Wow, I mean, burning it down. There's the results, the 14 drivers that was in the field tonight. Troy Thomas ends up getting the win. Corey Crowell able to hold off a late race charge from Andrew Tift. Crowell will get second. Tift will end up finishing in that third spot. Diego Rodriguez will finish fourth with Joshua Neal in fifth. Truth Hoke will get sixth. Michael Brooks seventh. John Schulenbacher will get eighth. Michael Smith ninth. Ryan Coker will get 10th. And Kenzie Smith, heartbreak for him, honestly. Started third. He was up there running inside the top 3. Was going to have a shot for the win. Had not trouble found him. He ends up finishing 11th. The last truck on the lead lap. And actually the last truck to finish the race here this evening. The rest of these guys, Lemuel Price and Kirby Wainscott and Lucas Sizemers was the last drivers out here in the field. I mean, Dean, wow. I mean, just out of nowhere, Troy Thomas. I mean, that's going to be a race right there that we're going to look back here in the Racers Elite and go, how did it happen? I mean, it literally happened out of absolutely nowhere.
Let's see if we can actually drag him in here at the moment for a little post-race interview, if he is available at the moment. If he's not, somebody find him and grab him by the scruff of the neck and bring him in here because, yeah, Jacob, there's 14 drivers that started this race. He gained 13 positions. So essentially, you'd have to say that's a last to first challenge, and he got it done. 6 machine. Somebody get him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, literally, he passed everybody in the field. I mean, he literally went. I mean, he literally pulled, honestly, shades of Jimmy Johnson back in 2016 at Homestead. He started dead last in the field, and Jimmy Johnson's done this before in the past, folks. That's why he is one of the GOATs. I'm saying one of the GOATs, folks, and I'm going to get some hate for it, but he's one of the GOATs in NASCAR. Start from the back, literally, tail end Charlie, and drive it all the way to the front and end up getting the win. He done it here at Charlotte, but most recent, done it in 2016 at Homestead, where he won his 7th NASCAR championship, able to tie Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. So Troy Thomas got a little bit of a JJ, I guess you could say, up under the hood of that number 6. I mean, he got it done tonight. He really did, Dane. He got it done big time this evening.
And look where he is starting from the very start of the race here. Look, he's just sitting back at the moment. That's just chilling at the moment. I mean, it's just curious to ask you what is he listening to in the cockpit, isn't it? He's sitting there going, is it a little bit of Italian opera? Is it a bit of, southern rock there? Who knows? But look at that. He's just slicing and dicing through the field. Take care of those tires. Take care of those boots there. Did he have the fastest lap as well too, Jacob? I'm just having a look. His best lap was a 30.45. A 30.32. Wasn't even the fastest lap, but hey, fastest lap don't give you all the points, do they, at the end of the day?
No, I mean, it don't. I mean, you ain't got to be the fastest truck out here to end up getting the win. You just got to be able to put your truck in the right place, truck, car, what have you. You got to be able to put it in the right place at the right time, and he was there. And he actually made a great charge right there. I mean, what I think he done, honestly, Dean, I think he just went out there for 20 straight laps and just straight up sent it for those last 20 laps right there, because Crowell was catching him, and he was catching him at a pretty good pace, but he ran out of time. Had that went a long green flag run, had that went, say, 25 laps, maybe even 30, Crowell was going to catch him, and he was going to straight up go right around him, as we're actually going to bring in Corey Crowell up here in the booth, and Andrew Tiff. Got both of them up here. And, I mean, guys, just either one of you chime in at this point. How in the world did y'all let Troy Thomas just straight up blow right by both of y'all and get the win here tonight?
He come out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it.
Who are we speaking to first, just to let us know there?
This is Corey.
Hey, Corey, g'day, Corey. You got a copy of the 20 machine? I'm going to just focus on the camera on you. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, he come out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it. I seen that he was kind of longer on the runs. So when we pit, I seen he was still out there, and I thought maybe he was going to do it at one last stop. But that last one, I mean, he pulled out there pretty far, and I thought I was going to be able to gain him, but I just didn't have enough.
I mean, Corey, you put on a fantastic race here this evening, and you and Andrew Tift, y'all was slugging it out big time up there for the lead at numerous points. Hell, y'all was even slugging it out for that second place. Y'all put on a fantastic race, even if it wasn't for the win. Putting on a hell of a show for the fans this in attendance, and for yourselves. That's got to be a win in y'all's book in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime I race with Andrew, he keeps it clean. He's a class act, and just the way that he's been doing this, you can tell. Look at the league; it's grown. We had one caution. This has been the gist of it for every race that we go to. So, kudos to him for what he's been doing for the recruiting wise. But he keeps a solid league in. So yeah, love running with Andrew. Glad I was able to finish ahead of him this time.
Corey, you're leading after the caution flag at the moment. The only caution that we had. Obviously what happened was it the tires at the end?
I took it easier because I thought Troy was going to run a lot harder. So then I just kind of let it go for a little bit, and then I got back behind Andrew, and then Kensley was about to pass me, so I was like, well, I can't go back too far. So then I just tried to run with Andrew, and then I was able to get around him, and then I was able to gain on Troy, but I just didn't have enough time. So maybe let him get out too far and laid back a little bit too much.
Corey Crowell getting second tonight. And Corey, have you got anybody that you want to thank that made this possible tonight, bud?
Oh yeah, you guys for broadcasting this. Andrew with Racers Elite putting on this amazing league. Midwest Motorsports, a new team that we developed. We help each other out with what we're gonna run and how we're gonna do it. So other than that, that's it.
Corey Crowell getting second. Now we're actually going to bring in Andrew Tift, who's still up here in the booth with us. And oddly enough, Andrew Tift, the one man to actually bring out the only caution that was in this race. And Andrew, the same thing, that I just asked Corey. Just battling it out with him. Honestly, was it basically the same thing that Corey was saying right there? Did you think that maybe Troy just got out there just a little bit too far and you wasn't able to get there because obviously you had to battle from the back a little bit when you took the wave around. But it looked like you was just driving that truck all get out trying to get back up there and have a shot at it.
Hang on 1 second there, Jacob, real quick there, because I'm showing the replay of Andrew. We're not to embarrass you, my dear friend, but Jacob's very kind. But what the hell happened in the exit of the pit road?
Yeah, I was trying to get a lot of speed off pit road there, and I guess I must have just shifted too early or something and dropped the clutch, and it spun right out on me. But Corey had made some time up on me the previous couple of cycles, so I was really trying to get everything and just messed up.
I mean, Andrew, Corey just talked about it, everything that you've done right here with this league. I mean, honestly, I mean, this is the second race that I've had the pleasure of helping announce and broadcast with this race. And I mean, it seems like, I mean, it really does. It seems like it's a fantastic league with a bunch of guys that love to come in here, love to compete, love to showcase their talent. And honestly, man, I got to tell you, I mean, fantastic league that you got going on right here. I mean, you got some fantastic drivers in here.
Yeah, a lot of kind words from you and from Corey, so thank you for that. Yeah, this is a great preview for Tuesday. This is where we are on Tuesday in trucks, so it was a great chance to practice and kind of work out some of the kinks. And yeah, we've been kind of using this night as our let loose and have fun kind of series. So
Wow.
that caution was a great opportunity to bunch them up and let everybody go at it, and probably took full advantage of it. So
This is a let
congratulations to them.
loose and have fun league. I mean, this is not. This is like this is a door banging, as Jacob would say at the end of the day. You got beef in there. So how mind you, how everybody can join the Discord, and as I guarantee at the moment, if I ain't a racer, well, I have discovered your league before, I would want to be door banging with all you gentlemen out there. So I presume we can get that Discord link out there and find a way that it can. How can people find to race with the elite races of all races? The elite races, elite mix series, right?
Yeah, they can head on over to racerselite.com and find a invite to our Discord server. Just talk to one of us. We'll get you all set up. We do have some next gen seats available on Thursday, and we continue to have some Saturday night seats. Attendance kind of varies on Saturdays, but yeah, just give us a shout on Discord, visit our website, and we'll get you all set up.
Awesome stuff right there out of Andrew Tift. Getting third tonight. And Andrew, before we let you go, have you got any sponsors, anybody that you want to thank that made this podium finish possible tonight?
Yeah, thank you to Corey for racing me clean. Just right back at him. He's a class act himself, so and he caught me there at the end. I wanted to let him go to see if he could run him down, and maybe I could follow him up there. So, but yeah, we always work well around each other. So appreciative of that, and to you guys for broadcasting, our servicemen and women, my family for letting me play, and everybody that tunes in to watch and shows up to race.
Awesome stuff from Andrew Tiff, getting the third place finish tonight. And Dean, I mean, we saw a very fantastic race. We saw a lot of strategy out here at Charlotte. We saw a lot of fantastic racing in general. You end up seeing these guys right here on that last 20 laps have a shootout at the end. Dean, your take of the race this evening.
Oh, what? I'm not racing. What are you talking about, my friend? I'm sitting up here in the production booth. No. Come on, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I mean, your take. I mean, honestly, your take of it.
Oh, my take of the race was amazing.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. I mean, I'm pushing all the buttons out. Of course, Jacob, I couldn't have done it without you, my dear friend. And thank you very much there for your second casting. I know we just to let everybody out there at the moment there, we basically lured Jacob in there with like, Talladega. And Jacob said, what? He's foaming at the mouth going, Talladega? He's almost like that, the dog that's just waiting at the door there for the owner to come home. Oh, yes. That's how we got Jacob in here with the promise to Talladega, which was our round one. And Just curious at the moment there, as Andrew and Corey and stuff, like, why would the late change to this track over the predicted dirt track that you gentlemen were looking at earlier?
We were just predicting better turnout with it, and we've got such a large crowd on Tuesday. It was nice to have the opportunity to put some laps in and let guys get some extra practice.
And
Awesome
thankfully, because
stuff.
I didn't even know what that track was before, they had to rely on Jacob. Like, Jacob, do you even know what this track is? Sorry, gentlemen, I'm not that familiar with that. I mean, you give me Silverstone and, Spa and all those other, Brands Hatch and all those classic tracks there, Watkins Glen, but
Yeah,
Well, awesome stuff. Go ahead, Andrew. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just kind of repeating myself. Yeah, just people would rather have the extra seat time here and prepare for Tuesday. It's been super competitive in that league and super clean. I mean, just as fun as this. So, really looking forward to it.
do you all think
Wow.
he could beat Jacob if he gets into that Tuesday league there and gets the pedal to the metal down there, Jacob? Throw spatter on the mix there right now. Oh, by the way, too, hanging around because a lot of people are still hanging around in the chat there for the surprise that Jacob is going to announce there. I know that Corey and Andrew, you weren't, you were racing, but in the chat there, everybody was asking a certain question to a certain commentator.
Yeah, I mean, we got some guys, asking some questions in here, wanting to basically know where I'm from. And, honestly, I mean, if the accent didn't throw it away enough, to be honest with you, I mean, it's Canada. I mean, I'm from
It's
Canada,
Australia.
so there
Come
it is,
on.
right there. No, it's Canadian. Nah, I'm BSing
You're from
all
the
the way
South,
around.
mate.
No,
You got to be
it
from
is.
Australia.
It ain't Australia. I think somebody actually put it in there one time. It is
Don't spoil
Georgia.
it. Don't spoil it. How about you?
I already said it. It. It
Oh,
is,
damn
man.
it.
It is. It is Georgia. It is Georgia. North part of Georgia, give or take. Where I was born and raised, and happy to live here. But also something to take a look at. Also in the YouTube channel, the link is there. www.racerselite.com.
Go Buckeyes.
Go over there and check it out. Yeah, Corey Crowell also putting in there, go Buckeyes. I don't know about all that. But anyway, I mean, fantastic race here tonight, folks. So if you want to try to get in with the Racers Elite, website's right there in the chat. Go over and click on it. Maybe Andrew Tift will give you a holler and get you out here. Maybe you can give you a holler and let you race for the dollar, I guess you could say at this point.
You're a poet.
Yeah, that's a
Didn't even
new
know
one.
it.
Yeah, that's a new one out of nowhere right there, Dean. But
I'll
folks,
buy
I
that
believe
for $1.
yeah, I guess you will. But but folks, I believe that will wrap it up right here. Racers Elite Mix Series. Troy Thomas, coming out of absolutely nowhere, getting the win tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Fantastic race out of everybody in the field. There you see the results on the screen. And wow, fantastic race, folks. So if you want to see more of this, keep tuning into the YouTube channel and keep checking these guys out. And if you want to try to get in here and race with some of these guys, like I said, www.racerselite.com. And also, I'll promote it once again for some of the folks that was listening online. If you want to see more of these Southern Redneck clips, if you got TikTok, go over Redneck Announcer 57. It's my it's my TikTok channel. You can see a whole lot more of my Southern accent calls on that. But folks, that's going to wrap it up tonight. Want to congratulate Troy Thomas for the win here this evening. Also want to thank Andrew Tift and everybody with the broadcasting group able to get us in here and be able to call these races tonight. My name is Jake Reeves with Dean Hopton also on the controls and also giving some commentary here this evening. Also, don't forget, go over to www.JPBroadcasting.com as well and check those guys out. Fantastic stuff they got. But, folks, we'll let you get back to your Saturday night for what is left of it. Like I said, once again, we want to congratulate Troy Thomas on the win this evening. And as Andrew said, check them out this Tuesday night for the Truck Series. They'll be right here at Charlotte. Everybody have a safe night and also have a safe Thanksgiving. We'll see you down the road.